And another question I was asked was, how long does the entire process of becoming a clinical psychologist take? So I'll walk you through that. I'm going to talk about it from India's perspective because I can tell you that best. So your graduation in India is usually 3 years. So you will do your BA or your BSc or any other triple major course in psychology that you decide to do. That will be a 3-year course. That is your graduation degree. Post which you will do your masters. A masters is mandatory in India. Even for an MPhil in clinical, even for a PhD, for anything that you do, a master's degree is mandatory. A lot of universities abroad simply pick out people for their PhD immediately after their graduation, but it does not work like that in India. You have to do your MA or your MSc in psychology in India. If you plan to do a clinical psychology, you want to become a clinical psychologist, then it only makes sense to do your master's in clinical psychology, which is an MA or an MSc in clinical. The reason why I'm saying this is it will be a lot easier for you to crack your MPhil entrances. Otherwise, it gets really difficult because the entrances are primarily going to be questions based on clinical psychology. And also they give preference to students who've done their MA or MSc in clinical. So 3 years of your bachelor's, 2 years of your master's, and then comes your MPhil, which is another 2 years, which is your clinical psychology trainee program, where you get trained to become a certified clinical psychologist. Now, a PhD is not mandatory for you to become a clinical psychologist. You can stop at your MPhil, you can get your license, and you can start practicing. A PhD is only done for clinical psychology students if they want to further their knowledge in the field. But it is not mandatory. It is not a government rule that you have to do a PhD. The government rule is you only have to get your license from an RCI recognized university. That is your MPhil degree. So I think roughly if you see it like that, then the route should be 3 + 2 + 2. So you can do the math. So that is for a clinical psychology position. Whereas when it comes to counseling, a counselor simply, they can do their bachelor's for 3 years, their MA or MSc in counseling, and they can start practicing. So there is no specificity for them to do an MPhil or a PhD. Even for them, if they want to do a PhD, they can end up doing it. So this is the route for clinical and counseling. There are several other fields in psychology as well. And if you guys want, I can talk about them. But yes, the most popular fields in India right now are either it's neuropsychology or it's clinical or it's counseling. So these are the upcoming fields, and these are the fields that are really, really booming in India right now. Thank you.